Good day everyone, AC Milan just put Rafa Leão on the market for €60 million. Meanwhile, Atletico Madrid have found their replacement for Julián Álvarez. Manchester United are pivoting to Brighton's Carlos Baleba. And Real Madrid just publicly shut down an Enzo Fernández transfer. Let's get the news on the pitch. Germany have sacked Julian Nagelsmann after that World Cup heartbreak and are now making an aggressive move to bring Jurgen Klopp to manage the German national team. Arsenal have increased their interest in Aston Villa's Konsa with a massive £60 million price tag attached. The England regular is in demand, but will the Gunners actually overpaying for highly rated Villa centre-back? AC Milan have joined the race for Lazio's Mario Gila alongside Napoli, Atlanta, and Inter with a €20 million demand complicated by a sell-on clause to Real Madrid. Mauro Icardi's agent has publicly shut down Galatasaray exit rumors, confirming negotiations collapsed on May 18 due to misaligned expectations, with no further talks on the table. Newcastle are heading back to Italy, targeting either Inter's Davide Fratesi for €30 million or Fiorentina's Nicolo Fagioli. AC Milan are preparing to offload Fikayo Tomori this summer, with his contract entering its final year and no renewal in sight. A return to the Premier League seems logical, but who's actually going to take a chance on him now? Atletico Madrid have had their bid for Sporting captain Morten Ullmann rejected, with the Portuguese side standing firm on their €60 million valuation. Fenerbahce have set their sights on Aston Villa's Ollie Watkins while he's away with England at the World Cup, but can the Turkish giants realistically convince a Premier League star to make that move at the age of 30 years? Santi Cazorla has officially retired at 41 after a stunning 25-year career ending back at his boyhood club Real Oviedo. Lyon have signed Julian Duranville from Dortmund for just €5 million on a 5-year deal, showing their cautious spending approach. But can the Belgian winger make the immediate impact they desperately need? Cristiano Ronaldo in Portugal gathered to honor Diogo Jota on the 1-year anniversary of his tragic passing, holding up his old number 21 shirt, after their 2-1 win against Croatia in the last 32 stages. Manchester City have smashed the British transfer record, signing Elliot Anderson for £116 million with the medical already completed in Kansas City. Is Man City overpaid for a Nottingham Forest midfielder? Genoa have launched a surprise approach for Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, who bagged 14 goals last season despite being 37. His Marseille contract runs until 2027. Matheus Fernandes is officially a Tottenham player, grabbing the number 18 shirt after Spurs broke their transfer record to snatch him from West Ham for £85 million. The fans will expect immediate returns for that price tag, but is he really worth that kind of money? Mathijs de Turbet is heading to Monaco on loan from Manchester City, who only just bought him for €25 million from Troyes. A smart move for development, but why spend that much on a teenager just to loan him out immediately? Real Sociedad have confirmed Brais Mendes is heading to Columbus Crew in the MLS for just €6 million despite his contract running until 2028. Manchester City have beaten Arsenal to wonder kid Jeremy Mongo, with Fabrizio Romano confirming the 16-year-old prospect chooses the Etihad despite Arsenal's lengthy talks, a massive victory for City's youth development strategy. Inter Milan have agreed a €3 million deal for Lazio goalkeeper Ivan Provedel, pending a medical, with a 3-year contract to replace Jan Sommer. Michael Olise is absolutely tearing up the World Cup with 6 assists in just 4 matches, including 2 beauties against Sweden, chasing the most assists record in a single tournament. Edinson Cavani has officially terminated his Boca Juniors contract early, ending a 3-year stint plagued by injuries at 39. Nottingham Forest have sacked Vitor Pereira after a short, unsuccessful stint, with Oliver Glasner emerging as the frontrunner to take over. The club is desperate for stability, but can Glasner really bring Nottingham to the top? Max Allegri has been appointed Napoli's new head coach after terminating his AC Milan contract by mutual consent just a month after being dismissed. Napoli are swinging for experience, but has Allegri still got what it takes at the highest level? Newcastle have agreed a €50 million deal for Hoffenheim winger Bazumana Touré, who is flying to Tyneside for a medical after Ivory Coast's World Cup exit. Arsenal are making serious progress in their pursuit of Morgan Rogers, with Fabrizio Romano confirming he's their prime target over Bradley Barcola, a major tactical shift for the Gunners, but can they actually get this signing over the line? Fiorentina are sitting down with Sassuolo to negotiate Christian Thorstvedt, with a €15 million asking price and a potential Simon Sohm exchange on the table. Atletico Madrid are closely monitoring Club Brugge striker Tresoldi, with contact already made, but a €30 million price tag and a contract until 2029 standing in their way. Bruges aren't in a rush to sell, but should Atleti be looking at a more proven option? Spain cruised into the World Cup last 16 with a dominant 3-0 victory over Austria at SoFi Stadium. Mikel Oyarzabal netted a brace, and Pedro Porro added a header to secure the win. Spain's control was evident throughout, with Oyarzabal opening the scoring in the 36th minutes and sealing the game in the 89th minutes, while Porro's 66th minute strike marked his first goal for the national team. Switzerland advanced to the last 16 with a controlled 2-0 win over Algeria in Vancouver. Breel Embolo opened the scoring following a setup by Yohan Manzambi, and Dan Doy doubled the lead shortly after halftime. The defeat marked the end of Algeria's tournament, adding them to the list of African nations eliminated at the last 32 stage. Portugal secured a dramatic 2-1 victory over Croatia to advance to the last 16 and a showdown with Spain. Cristiano Ronaldo equalized with a 68th-minute penalty, his first ever World Cup knockout stage goal, before Ramos headed in a stoppage-time winner. Croatia's late attempt at an equalizer was ruled out for offside following a lengthy VAR review, and after the match, Ronaldo led an emotional tribute to late teammate Diogo Jota. AC Milan have officially put Rafa Leão on the market, and they've set a transfer fee of just €60 to €70 million. This is a club in desperation mode. Leão's had a disastrous campaign under Max Allegri last season, constantly playing out of position and visibly unhappy, even lashing out when subbed off early. Milan has admitted to his entourage they're ready to part ways, and they're even open to a loan with an obligation to buy. A massive green flag for clubs like Manchester United and Tottenham who need to spread out the cost. Leão wants the Premier League or La Liga, and Milan are terrified of being stuck with an unhappy high-earning star after the World Cup. A talent like Leão for $60 million in this market, that is an absolute steal. Julián Álvarez is heavily linked with Barcelona, and Atletico Madrid are already scrambling to replace him. Diego Simeone has identified Marseille's Mason Greenwood as his #1 target. Think about the transformation here. Since leaving Manchester United, Greenwood has been absolutely lethal, finishing as League One top scorer in the 24-25 season with 21 goals, and wrapping up last campaign with an incredible 26 goals and 11 assists in just 45 appearances. Simeone needs a goal scorer, and Greenwood has proven he is exactly that. The urgency is sky-high because Griezmann and Gonzalez have left a massive void in Madrid. Barcelona are reportedly waiting for Atletico to pull the trigger before they launch their second bid for Álvarez. If Simeone lands Greenwood, we're looking at one of the most explosive attacking lineups in La Liga. Manchester United's search for midfield dominance continues. After missing out on Matheus Fernandes, the club have pivoted to Brighton's Carlos Baleba. The price tag is hefty. Offers under £70 million will be ignored by the Seagulls. The midfield overhaul at Old Trafford is non-negotiable under Michael Carrick. They need legs, power, and a defensive anchor for their Champions League campaign. Baleba didn't have his most influential season in 25-26, but the raw talent is undeniable. United approached Brighton last summer and were put off by a £100 million valuation. Now they might get a deal done closer to that £70 million mark. But we have to ask the hard question. Does Baleba have the experience to step in and stabilize that United engine room, or are we looking at another overpaid gamble that leaves fans frustrated come November? Real Madrid just dropped an absolute hammer. Instead of giving a vague no comment, they released an official statement categorically denying any contact with Chelsea's Enzo Fernández. They didn't just deny it, they stated they have no intention whatsoever of undertaking the operation. This follows their identical strategy with Michael Olise. Madrid are making it crystal clear, stop linking us to players we don't want. It's a fascinating stance because let's be honest, they are struggling. With Toni Kroos retired and Luka Modric gone, there is a gaping hole in the creative playmaker role. They're relying on Tchouaméni, Valverde, and Camavinga, all world-class yes, but none of them are that orchestrator Toni Kroos was. Madrid seem to be keeping their cards close to their chest, either waiting for a specific target or banking on Bernardo Silva to fill that void.